illusion of mind. Look at the illusion of mind. Look at your phone. You say it's your, but what does that actually mean? It doesn't mean you made it. It doesn't mean you understood how it works. It doesn't even mean you are holding it. It means that if I try to take it from you, men with guns will come and put me in cage, right? Ownership is not a relationship between you and object. It is a relationship between you and other people. And that relationship is defined entirely by latent violence. Yes, latent violence. We like to think civilization replaced violence with law. That's a lie. Civilization didn't remove violence, it monopolized it, and then it crystallized it. Think of a property deed, a land title, a receipt. These are not just piece of paper, they are frozen threads. A property deed is a contract that says the state agrees to use violence against anyone who enters this space without your permission. When the violence works perfectly, you never see it. It stays invisible. It stays latent. We call this peace. But it is not peace. It is just suspended war. How does land become property? That's a big question. Go back far enough in the history of any piece of land. Park Avenue, London City, anyone, you're backward. Go back past the developer, past the farmers, past the king. Eventually, you will find a man with a weapon standing over a man without one. Every square inch of property on earth began as a crime. Someone drew a line in the dirt and say, "This is mine," and they had the force to back it up. That force. Over time, that force calcified the law into law. The conquest became the constitution. The warlord became the landlord. Time washes away the blood, but it doesn't change the mechanism. Property is just violence that has been forgotten. What's the invisible gun? This sounds ridiculous, right? But it is the only way to understand how society actually functions. Walk into a supermarket, okay? There is a food on the shelves. You're hungry. Why don't you just take it? That's not possible. You don't take it because there is an invisible gun pointed at your head at all times, right? You don't see the gun. Okay, the cashier doesn't hold the gun. The manager doesn't hold the gun. Then what happens? The gun is there, waiting in the infrastructure of the police station. Because the gun is there, we can trade, we can use money, we can be civil. Commerce is not the opposite of war. Commerce is a simulation that runs on top of a war that has been paused. The systemic risk. What does this mean? Because when the state loses the monopoly on violence, property evaporates instantly. I'm not kidding, instantly. Look at a failed state. Look at a riot zone. The moment the police vanish, ownership vanishes. Power vanishes, monopoly vanishes. Everything vanishes. The strongest man owns what he can hold. The gang owns the block. This is the terrifying truth we hide from ourselves. Your bank account, your house, your 400k, they are not physical realities. They are faith in the state's capacity for violence. If the violence stops, the wealth stops. That's the truth. The moral paradox. What's that means? This leaves us with a difficult realization. We hate violence. We want a peaceful world. But everything we love, piracy, privacy, safety, wealth, home, anything requires the threat of violence to exist. You cannot have a safe space without a border. Freedom should have limit, and you cannot have a border without a guard. To love civilization is to accept the necessity of the monster that protects it. At the ending, I would like to say one thing. So, is property theft? No. Theft is when you break the rules of the system. Property is the system. It's the system. It's the agreement to let the state do the violence for us so we don't have to do it to each other. But never forget what you are actually holding when you hold that deed. You are not holding land. You are holding a receipt for a weapon.